All right, let's go ahead and start it off with our first introduction for the day. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade is the blue Zerg player. And from Korea, playing for KaiZ Gaming, it is Solar.
And spawning here at the bottom right, we got our red Protoss from the team of Raise Your Edge Gaming. Give it up for ZEST.
Who would have thought? Patch block.
Yeah, it just seems like every game, if he can or wants to do so, ZEST does always send that first probe out to get that early hatch block. Of course, Zergs has kind of adapted to this. They, of course, would just go ahead and take their third. Now, this map actually has two third bases that the Zerg can take. So there's the one at the bottom of the map at the main base, and then there's the one kind of at the 9 o'clock position. I think most Zergs likes to take the one in the 9 o'clock position, but then if they decide to go for an aggressive push, they might actually elect to go to the one near the bottom of the main base. So because that, that's a faster reinforcement point, and they can just send their lings across the map really quickly.
Yeah, it's all about which one of the two bases is more easily defendable. And of course, this will go to the linear pattern here at the, I don't know, it's like 8 o'clock position, something like that. And the other one instead is just a little bit too exposed. So unless the player decides to go for something very aggressive, as you were saying, there's little to no reason to take that base before the other. Of course, Lightshade is a pretty short map, so eventually that base will be taken either as a 4th or as a 5th if game gets to that stage. But of course, starting it off with a hatch block, there's no better base to take than this one. And on the other side of the map, ZEST is gonna give us his special with the Stargate opener.
Once again, that Stargate opening. Now, ZEST, when he was sending his probe back, did see that all the drones were taken off of gas. So that should give him an indication that either he is mining, just get that extra drone on mining the minerals to get that extra economy, or it could be an all-in 3-base mass Zerglings, which actually wouldn't be like too bad on this map, I would say. But it looks like Solar is going to go ahead and send back a couple of drones, one drone back into the assimilator. So it won't be an all-in, it doesn't seem, as he is droning really, really heavily.
Yeah, as I was saying before the series started, Solar has kind of shifted his playstyle. He's cutting so many corners in his build orders to get to that 66 workers sweet spot as quick as possible. Pulling drones out of gas is a thing he has been doing quite consistently lately. He's really trying to avoid as many obstacles as possible to get to the huge amount of drones he wants to get it to feel comfortable. But ZEST is looking to stop that in his tracks with Resonating Glaives just being started and the Stargate kind of destroying every single unit who tries to scout. This will be something that Solar has to just sense. He cannot get any scouting information. He has to sense it and be prepared for it. The lair just started. I don't like the lair as an answer to Glaze anytime, and he doesn't really have a lot of drones. Roach Warren has started as well, of Lynx, sorry. He has 5 queens, but he needs way more to feel comfortable defending this.
Yeah, now the good thing is that he hasn't overdroned. He has gotten his Roach Warren relatively in a nice time. So by the time the Adepts does go across the map, he should be entering in that Roach production. And then, of course, that will all come down to if he can position those Roaches correctly and make sure that he gets on top of those Adepts.
I would really like Solar to start producing a little bit more Zerglings. Like right here, killing that one single Adept, staying at the third, should already give him some information about something a little bit too aggressive coming. Right now, I think he spotted. Yeah, that's going through the map, but this map is so short. Yeah, that's are already at the third base of Solar. Zerglings are in the production tent, but very few roaches are in there as well. Already 3 drones and instantly fallen. This thing gets saved, but a very quick transfuse. But will it be saved again? Yes, it will. Adepts will shade here in the natural to fight with more queens. Zerglings are coming screaming out of those hatcheries, but drones are falling left and right. So will this one queen, and more adepts are making their way through the map. Roaches are ready to get out of those hatcheries, ready to hatch out of those eggs, but queens won't live the day that those roaches will be able to clean the adepts. No more queen, well, just one queen left standing, and now the adepts are in the main. 6, 7 drones, even roaches are falling to these clave adepts, and right now ZEST with 10 drones killed, splitting adepts, sending a few in the third, is dealing so much damage. Roaches waiting for the adepts in the natural, but will it be enough? I don't think so. Solar economy is in shambles. ZEST already transitioning back on Forge Immortals, and even more drones are falling. There's no queens to actually make way for more drones to be done. Finally, the last few adepts get cleared. There are only 3 in the main, which will be easily killed. Oh, wait a second. No, Solar. Those roaches were way out of position, and even more drones are bound to fall right now. Look at those adepts go, and it's 27, 28, 29 drones killed, as well as 6 queens. There's no production whatsoever for Solar, basically. Now he's sending everything through the map. This game is not over yet, but Solar is in no commanding position whatsoever.
Yeah, now the good thing about ZEST opening up with that Stargate is he does get that Void Ray, and none of Solar's units does attack air. I mean, there's a Corrosive Bow, but it's very hard to connect with the Void Ray. So that Void Ray is going to go ahead and continuously, shoot at those roaches and ravagers. But here we go. Lings get on top of the units. Shield battery overcharge does activate, and Solar has to GG out as ZEST just has too much defense there and holds.
The transition from ZEST was way too quick for Solar to do anything about it. Just as soon as the first few drones started falling, ZEST was already making immortals, already had a bunch of sentries back home. And as you were saying, that Void Ray made this attack even more dangerous for Solar. And in the end, deserved victory from ZEST. And I really have to say that Solar didn't do what I was thinking about him doing. Like, yes, he didn't overdrone, but he did get an early lair, and he didn't have enough defensive links to hold this kind of attack, which is something very common. So I have to dislike the play from Solar a lot. He needs to play a little bit differently in my mind to really put up a fight to ZEST.
Yeah, I think ZEST actually might have bypassed the Lings with the adepts. He's kind of sent his adepts to the left side. I think the Lings were coming from the right side to attack the third base. So I think Solar might have missed the move out of those adepts, and that might have cost him the game.
Yeah, that is very likely. But it is a new game now, a new chance to get its first victory of the series, spawning in the top right hand corner. Here on Oxide is the blue Zerg player, plays for Kaizi Gaming. It is Solar.
And spawning here at the bottom left is the red Protoss, hailing from Korea and also hailing from Raise Your Edge Gaming. He's up 1-0, looking to extend his lead to 2-0. Can he do it? It is ZEST.
Once again, there's an arch block. Oxide, very short map. So no better way to start off the game for the Protoss player. But of course, the thing we're gonna be the most curious about is gonna be the first tech structure coming from ZEST. Are you calling a Stargate again?
This wouldn't be a bad map to do so. I think it is so hard for the queens to travel back and forth between the third and the natural. So if you can maybe get an oracle out and just kind of fly between it, you might be able to, you know, kind of put some pressure on the Zerg and kind of get him annoyed. But the Void Rays, I think, could also fly around pretty easily as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if ZEST went for the 3-gate Stargate, the 3 Stargate Void Ray play. But then I could also see him pulling at the same play as he did last game with the Glaive Depths timing, because this map actually pretty far between bases.
Yeah, and it's a very short from natural to natural instead, so it really makes a good map for all lanes. The only like difficult thing about this map going for all lanes is that everything is on high ground for the defensive player, but that can be very easily avoided by adepts. There's a Stargate incoming from ZEST as his first tech structure, and to address even more what you were talking about this map being a good map for Stargate, there's kind of a sweet spot between the natural and the third, in which queens cannot attack an air unit unless there are queens on both sides. And that could be nasty. I've seen that being very nasty in the past. Like, the nerf to queen's range has really affected the defense against Stargate openers in some ways. So we see more Oracles surviving, more Void Rays surviving, more Phoenixes getting in and out without getting too much damage. So Stargate play looks like a very solid opener, and the way ZEST has been doing it this far, man, call it that solid. I call it broken, to be honest.
Well, certain maps just have nicks and edges where you can take advantage of, and certainly it's up to the players, the pro players, to kind of expose that and abuse that. But anyhow, it looks like a very similar opening to last game. Now the difference is, oh wait, did he make an Oracle last game?
No, he didn't.
Okay, so there's a little bit of a change up here. He added an Oracle. Like I said, you can fly around with that Oracle pretty easily around this map. It's quite a large map as well. And yeah, we'll see if he does follow up with a Glaive at that time. But with the absence of the Twilight Cancel, I don't actually expect that. I actually expect a 3 Stargate play.
Yeah, same. I was about to say the same, because ZEST did go for the Oracle, so he couldn't have enough resources to drop the Twilight Council and the Fur Base. The Fur Base is a very fast one as well, so that calls to me that ZEST wants to do something very greedy economy-based, and that can only be that 3 Stargate play you were talking about. Stasis Ward in the third of Solar will only get 1 drone, but of course, the most important thing this Oracle will get is map control and scouting information. Here comes a run by from Solar. Not gonna go deal too much damage. Just scouts the third, maybe catches a couple probes transferring, but not much more.
Yeah, so far, you know, I think Solar has an inkling, just based on kind of the lack of units, what ZEST might be going for. And it's going to be up to him to decide how he's going to counter it. He is adding a Roach Warren, which isn't going to probably do too much against these Void Rays. I think it's just for safety measures. But, oh wait, hold that thought. There is a little bit of a depth run by here. Also the Oracle trying to do a Stasis Ward once again. So just ZEST keeping up with the harass and the pressure on Solar.
Yeah, really putting the attention from Solar apart here. Really getting a little bit of annoying damage. 5 drones have gone down. That's a lot of lost mining time as well. And considering that all ZEST needs is time, this looks pretty significant to me, even without dealing too much damage. There's a Spire from Solar. Very quick one. There's a lot of gas being collected by the Zerg player, but I see no fourth. Not yet. And I think that should be kind of mandatory right now.
Yeah, you definitely want to be ahead as a Zerg in terms of bases. maybe 2 even, if you can get away with it. But sticking with 3 for quite some time. He's going to go ahead and try to, I guess, commit to this Spire play, trying to get some damage to at least kind of help him get back in terms of the economy. But there is a link, once again, a link counterattack attempted, but the defense of ZEST just too good there.
ZEST already has a bunch of foot rays making their way through the map as well. These Zerglings will not cut through, but the Void Rays can really get some damage. There's a lot of energy on the screens, a lot of transfuses can be used, and they will be used to save the queens. One of them actually falls. The other transfuses are up. This queen is very up in energy. 2 queens going down, that's not great. That's not very good at all. One of the Void Ray is very red in health, but will survive nonetheless. Those queens are trying to retreat to the Spore Crawlers. There's one Stasis Ward only gonna catch 2 drones, but these Void Rays are dealing so much damage. They're not getting countered at all. The Spire has just been done. 13 Corruptors are on the way. But these Void Rays can really put up a big fight to the Corruptors. The lair is under attack. Prismatic Alignment has not been activated yet. But here comes the Corruptors. And here comes the real high DPS those Void Rays can have against armored units. I don't think Corruptors are ever the answers to those guys. Without Prismatic Alignment, the lair will go down. Recall issued by ZEST. But this is devastating damage.
Yeah, so as you can see, a couple of Void Rays going down, but he did get the lair. He did slow down the economy of Solar, but there is a lot of Corruptors out there. He's going to have to make sure those Void Rays are near a shield battery and also under a Archon or so to help defend against this. Oh man, the Void Rays are actually out there undefended, but charge up will scare these Corruptors away. That could have been a bit dangerous.
Yeah, Prismatic Alignment helps those guys deal so much damage, but without Prismatic Alignment, they cannot really put up too much of a fight. They still gonna get some kills, but it's not gonna be too worth it considering the cost of Void Rays. So he's gonna be waiting for a bunch of Zealots to be done, and there is no ground defenses at all from Solar. How many roaches is that? 8 roaches? That's how many? Like 20 Zealots. And 2 Archons.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Corruptors don't shoot down, and these Zealots are gonna cause a very big ruckus in the base of Solar. They're already getting on top of the mineral lines. Adepts and Zealots alike fighting with the Roaches. Only these 2 Archons are already putting up so much of a fight, and meanwhile the Fair base has been completely destroyed by ZEST. No workers over there. These Zealots still charging on top of Roaches. There's a bunch of Roaches, even more in production. This attack probably will be hold in the end, but it will not be worth it. Solar calls the GG, and ZEST gets to match point.
ZEST is just on a roll in this PvZ matchups. It seems like he's like on another tier, another level when it comes to him playing against Zerg. It's just so awesome to see.
It's just so clean with every single movement. He transitioned into the late game incredibly smoothly, and as soon as he gets a little bit of damage, like, the Zerg player cannot really do anything about it. Like, this build is such a big snowball build. Like, everything goes alright so quick for the Zerg player if he starts getting even the slightly minor amount of damage. And ZEST will always take as many chances as possible to deal even the slightest amount of damage.
Yeah, and I gotta say, didn't think his tech of choice was the best one. I mean, going for Spire, maybe if ZEST was stuck on 1 Stargate, but ZEST had 3 Stargate in total, which meant he was able to produce enough Void Rays to hold on against any Corruptor tech. And then if Solar decided to go for Mutalisk, he had enough Stargate to just mass produce Phoenixes. So either way, it would have been a pretty tough game for Solar, you know, as the game went on. But let's see if he has a different answer and if ZEST does goes for that same build. But before then, let's go ahead and introduce our wonderful players.
In the bottom right hand corner is the blue Zerg. He needs 3 in a row to bring the series back home and get to the finals. And this is a titanic feat against his opponent today. I'm talking about Kaizi Gaming's very own Solar.
And spawning here at the top left corner of the map from Raise Your Edge Gaming. Looking like a monster today. Can he close it out? It is ZEST.
So let's talk a little bit more about the Spire. Spire, as you were saying, like, I totally dislike Spire as a choice to bring up some defensive units against those kind of builds. You can get a Spire maybe with tier 3 to get upgrades real quick and get those air units to just fight against the mass air Protoss Bowl. But before that stage, Spire is almost useless. It actually is probably bad for the Zerg player. It actually works against him. It is actually a loss of resources that could be very well invested into Hydralisks and getting Hive Tech to get those Vipers. Those 2 units are definitely the answer. I have to say, I probably think Microbial Shroud is not even that bad against this. So I don't want to see any more Spires. I want to see faster Hives, and I want to see Hydrodens. And
Yeah.
of course.
Now there was a one game, I forgot exactly which event it was, but I saw that one of the Protosses went for a similar.
It was Rogue.
Okay, so yeah, it went for a similar build with the the mass void rays, and the Zerg went for 2 Hydralisks at the same time, and went for a Hydralisk Baneling Ling attack, and I think it could actually be a viable option against this playstyle. I mean, I have yet seen it work out, but I think it was very close to actually, winning the game. So I would love to see one of the, either Solar or Armani, if they face off against ZEST, to kind of try that build.
Yeah, it is the best way to play against this is definitely to play aggressively. Good scouting from Solar. We will send his first overlord through a little bit more quickly, and we will get information about the Stargate, the Void Ray, and the upcoming Oracle. All of this information leads to a quick third, and again to the free Stargate play coming from ZEST. The 2 more Stargates are gonna be added as soon as ZEST has the resources for them, while the Void Ray is gonna try to stop as much scouting as possible. This time Solar should adapt differently. His early lair is probably a good way to play this, but he has to have quicker answers to the Void Rays. Alright, but we're getting a couple drones. That's a little bit free. Like, getting 2 drones like this is very free. So, good stuff from ZEST. But it's time for the Oracle. Oh my god, this Stasis word!
Yeah. Let's go ahead and bring up the income income graph here. Look at that red spike, all from that lovely, beautiful Stasis word right there.
How did I miss this? Alright, double Stargate layering coming from Solar. Pretty much early on the side as how usually lair has been done in the past, but a little bit later compared to how he has been doing in the past 2 games. So he's kind of shifting a little bit in his playstyle already. He's getting more drones more quickly, and I'm expecting a quicker 4th and a Hydroden this time. He's getting gases. Well, he's getting 6 gases.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay, this is probably a spy. Like 6 gases is... Unless he wants to take an early Hive, which will be the best possible thing he can do, I guess this is going to be a spy. It's either... Oh, okay, Hydrogen. Nice.
Okay, probably going for a fast lurker then if he was gonna take all that gas, probably.
Yeah, that's one thing you could do. It's either a fast lurker den or a fast infestation pit for a fast hive. I like the latter a little bit more, and you start the lurker den alongside your hive. So as soon as hive is done, you get your lurker range upgrade. That's the best way to play this matchup, I feel. Alright, 9 Hydras in the making, 10, 11, that's a lot of Hydras. I like this. Ranged attack as well. Solar already approaching to this matchup a little bit better compared to before.
Definitely a good, better start compared to the last game with the tech at least. But it really comes down to the execution, because we've seen in the past that Zergs has gone for Hydralisk but still wasn't able to break ZEST. So we'll see if Solar has any better luck. Now it's going to be a bit hard to get that hatchery, that fourth base, right below the main base. The Void Rays could easily snipe it off. I think it would probably serve him better to go for the one that's like in the 7 o'clock position. But we'll see which fourth base Solar does. Oh wait, actually, look at this Nidus network coming out here for Solar.
And finally, we get our fourth of our 6 gas explanation over here. That gas income is all going to go into Nidus Worm. This worm is about to go up, but the Void Ray just luckily gets a scout on top of it. Queens popping out and Queens suiciding themselves. Still buying a little bit of time for another Nidus Worm to pop out here at the borders of the third base of ZEST. These Hydras are gonna hit so much more quickly than Storm can be done. Templar Archives just got started. 3 drones with these as well to start for callers as soon as creep spreads. Here the Queens are gonna get a couple transfuses to get these Hydras into business. And that's so many Hydras.
Yeah.
31 Hydras. It's so many that they cannot even get good surface area. And look at how these sentries will try to pop out as many force fields as possible. The main fight will start. Sentries don't deal a lot of damage, but these Void Rays sure do. There's charge being done, and there's a bunch of charge lots making their way to the third base of Solar. Meanwhile, Solar is definitely breaking through this location. All he needs is to start a step these Hydras forward, and it will deal so much damage. He's a little bit scared about these force fields. That's totally comprehensible, as these force fields are a little bit breaking him apart. The Nidus network is under attack right now. So many drones are falling already to the might of these charge lots, and Solar didn't think this through, it seems, because his economy is in shambles and these zealots are really not getting cleared. Right now, drones fighting zealots, that's not what you want to happen, and Hydras are not really too high in count to make up for the amount of healing these shield batteries are doing. Queens are falling as well, and ZEST will be our first semifinals winner.